Hi there, my name's Nikki Mendham from Souls Education, and I wanted to come on today to do a little demo video for my clients as they're working through their human design charts and they're getting to really experience what this means to them and how it impacts them and their relationships. There is a wave of this inspiration that's going through the group, through my personal clients as well, who are really embracing the whole, human design concept as they're starting to work with it, and they're getting to talk about it to their friends and their family. And so I've had a lot of questions recently about how do you set up charts, how do you manage charts, and I use a program called Genetic Matrix. So I've agreed to come on and do a little demonstration for them, and hopefully you will enjoy this as well as. So if I share my screen with you, when I look at setting it up, what I will do is I will also share in this link how you can get straight through to the Genetic Matrix program, but this is your opening screen. There are lots of other programs out there, but I find this one in particular very, very, extensive. It also has your astrological charts in there as well. So if you're coming from an astrology background or a human design background, there's lots and lots of information on there. So what I wanted to do today was share with you 3 of the 5 services that are available. I want to show you how to set up a chart and manage that chart. And then I'll go through a few foundation views. So that'll just get you started. My aim is to do more videos at a later point, but this is very basic level, and it's just to get you into the charts and see what they can do for you. So like I say, this is your opening screen, and you'll go to services to decide which chart you want to do. Now, as I say, there are 5 different services. You've got 2 free services and 3 that you actually pay for. Now, with your completely free service, just create a free chart. It'll do a one-off chart for you, and you can print that off if you want to, but it doesn't save it. Now, in order to save your chart, you need to register with them. They need to open up an account with you. They ask for very little information, but what that then allows you to do is to go back into your account and view your saved charts. The other one that I want to look at with you is the Pro. So these are the examples that I'm going to be using today. Now, the Pro version gives you lots of different foundation charts. It gives you transit cycles, family charts. It's the only one that gives you the animal charts as well. And I will do a separate video on animal charts and how to set those up. It's also the only one that gives you the interactive charts as well. So they're your 5 different types, the 3 of which I've mentioned. So when you've actually set your account up, you'll be given a hub. So you go into your hub here, and as you can see, it shows that I'm a Pro member, and I just want to set up a brand new chart for you. So I've got a couple in here that I've been playing around with, but generally that will be, it will be empty. So the first thing that you do is you go to create a chart. And as I say, we're going to look at the human version today. This is how you would access the animals, of which you can run your charts for cats, dogs, rabbits, and horses. But for today's purpose, we're just going to go into the human side of things. And I'm just going to set my own personal details up. So this is me. And you add in your date of birth. Now, when it comes to your time, you're working on the 24-hour clock. So I was born at 3:15 in the afternoon. Now, if you don't know your time of birth, if you can get it, I would say please do get it, because it makes it very, very accurate. But if you can't, I would use a default of 1200 hours, and then I will show you how to alter that in a minute. Now, the reason we say 1200 hours is it'll just set you up with a chart, and you can start playing around with the chart and seeing if it fits your personality. And don't worry if you don't know anything about human design at this point. I have a Facebook page or a group that you can actually access, and it will give you details about the various different types. It gives you details about the profiles. So it will give you enough information to know whether this chart fits your personality or not. So when you get into your country, there's a little quick way of doing this. I live in the UK, so if I just put a U in there, it will take me right down to the bottom, and I can just select from there United Kingdom. I was born in Newcastle upon Tyne. Now, there are a couple of Newcastles in the UK. Now, where you're just in one time zone, it doesn't matter too much. But if you're in a country like America, Australia, Russia, China, where you've got lots of different time zones, it is really important that you get your city or your location of birth really correct. So we click OK, and this will actually create the chart for us. So this is our foundation chart. And so what I want to do is just talk you through a little bit about the chart itself, and then also how you can manage that. And then we'll start looking at the views. So just quickly check that your date of birth is correct, that your time of birth is correct, all of the information that you've just added in is correct, because this is important for creating the chart. It's also got your geographical coordinates, age, which is very important for when you're looking at the different aspects within your chart, the different planetary alignments, because there are certain planets that will impact you more at different times and cycles within your life. Again, I will do a brief video on each of these planetary positions within your chart. It also talks about your definition, your strategy. And when you get down to the bottom, we start getting into the more complex version, which I'm not going to go into today, but this is mainly around diet. And you do need your specific birth time for that, because it can completely differ within 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So it's only if you've got your exact birth time will this actually ring true for you. So now that we've created the chart, this actually appears down at the bottom in our people. So over time, you'll start getting a whole list of people in here, and I'll show you how you can actually manage those. So you can tag whoever is in your chart. So for example, with this particular package, the Pro, it helps me create family charts. So if I have a whole family that I'm working with, I can actually tag them. So I've set one up already with the Mendhams, that's my surname. I'm going to assign the tag so that when I go down to the bottom, if I want to find any of the Mendhams, they'll all pop up in here, and I'll have a whole list of them. Another way of searching as well is you can search by first name or by surname. And also you can search by profile or by type or by variables as well. So there's a number of ways of actually searching for people once you've got into creating a few different ones. You can also make notes on the charts. So if you click into the little pencil, oh, actually, sorry, this is altering your chart. We'll look at notes in a minute. So as I was saying, if you had a birth date of 12 o'clock and it didn't really ring true for you, this is where you can actually have a play around with the times, create the different charts, and see which one fits your personality the most. I'll leave mine as it is for now. So here are your notes. So if you click into here, you can actually add a note. So I'm going to add it to myself. And I'm just going to put hello for now, but you can also put audio notes on there. You can put images, add images into it. And this is your notes for all of the people that you're working with, and you can just add that on. You can also alter it, change it. So make an addition to the current note, or you can actually delete the note. So I'm going to click out of there. You can also cancel the chart. So if you decide that this isn't one that you want listed, you just click the delete current chart and that'll allow you to delete. So I'll go to my earlier one that I created, bring my same details up. You can also star your favorite person in the chart. So if you have one in particular that you want to keep going back to, you can also create a PDF version and also a JPEG version of this chart as well. The talking charts are another feature that, again, I will do a separate course on, but these actually talk you through your chart. So there's a whole load of recordings on these, and it goes into a lot of detail. So they're handy if you learn through listening as well as visual learning as well. So that's just a quick view of the foundation chart. Now, we've got the quantum view on here. You also, with the Pro app, get the interactive view. So on here, you can actually click each of the planetary alignments. So if I click on the conscious sun, for example, I'm a 37-1 in my conscious sun, it will actually bring up basic information about the gate and how that fits for me as a first line. So it'll tell me when I'm working in my positive, what clues to be looking out for. And it'll also give me an idea if I'm working in my negative for this gate as well, what the clues are. So it's very much about providing little clues for you to go away and to contemplate. It also gives you more intense information down at the bottom, and it starts getting into different wording. So for example, you've got Gene Key's wording here, which is the creator is Richard Rudd. And I'll show you his charts in a minute. But he actually talks about the shadow version of that particular trait or gate. He also talks about the gift that's within that. And he also talks about the siddhi, which is the awakened state. So it's great to have these little keynotes because it's not going too in depth into a whole topic about that personality trait. It's just giving you ideas for you to go away and actually experiment with and play with and figure it out for yourself. This is a very personal journey for you as human design. As a practitioner in this work, I'm here to guide you and to give you clues, but ultimately it's down to you to go and experience that and see how that fits in your everyday life. So leading on from Richard Rudd, his work is called the Gene Keys, and I will actually again put some links into his work, but he shows with his charts a really clear path. So he works with a foundation path, which really helps you to understand who you are and what you do. So it creates your purpose. So he has where the green spheres are. He follows this path for you to find your foundation. This is the core of your essence, and it gives you a deep grounding into who you are. And then with the red spheres, it then goes on to how you work within relationships, the triggers that can come up for you, the emotional stresses and strains that can be presented within your relationships and where they come from. And then once you've completed that, you then also go into the blue spheres, which is about your vocation and your prosperity. So my work as a life coach is I work very closely with Richard Rudd's work. So this really helps me to guide my clients through, the situations that are being presented to them right now. And then also we've got Karen Corey Parker's work as well. She created quantum human design. Now, human design was originally brought to us by a chap called Ra Orahun, and he worked for most of his life beyond the point of receiving this download of information about the body graph and how to use it. It was gifted to him in a time when he was over in Ibiza, and he had a huge download of information that lasted for about 8 days. And he was presented with the body graph. He was given information by what he calls the voice. And he was told that this was for the children, but that the adults and the parents needed to learn this first so that they could be a solid guide for the children. So this is a map, you know, to how to live your life, basically. And so he unfortunately died in 2011, but Karen Curry Parker and also Richard Rudd had the great honour to work with him for a period of time. And Karen in particular worked with him for 12 years. And in that time, she practiced a lot of his work, but also recognized that his work was for working with people who hadn't yet stepped onto their path. It was the language that he uses was to really shock people into this awakening. And Karen, with a life coaching background, then carried on that work to work with people who are more awake. So if this is an introduction to you to human design, I would say look at Ra's work first, but then also quickly move on to Karen Curry Parker's work and also Richard Rudd's work, because combined, I mean, I use all three combined, and they all have, you know, different aspects of their work that really, really benefit people. So that was just to give you a little bit of information about the foundation charts, how to get into it. And I hope that that has been of some use. Like I say, I will put in this video some details. And if you are already working with these charts, or if you want any information, please make a note in the comments. I'd like to hear how close you experience yourself with these charts. I'll add the link to the Facebook page so that you have lots of resources, that lots of videos that talk about the different types, talk about the profiles, you know, talk about how you work as an individual once you've run your chart, and you get to see what energy type you are, what aura type you are. And then I'll add in the extra links as well to Karen's work and also to Richard Rudd's work. So I hope that has been of some use, and I look forward to doing some more videos for you.